Welcome. We are going to do something a little bit different for real this time. I have put up some discography videos in the past, but it's been a long time, so for the new people we are doing one artist, which is going to be hard this time. So it's basically one artist. I did 3 Belgian black metal, Alkerdale, Perverted Ceremony, Moon of Cesbet, and I think Paragon and Pure. I did stuff, or not stuff, I did one on Watsane, on Devil's Blood, so there's a few. It's in a playlist somewhere. But it's basically just nerding out about one artist. Today it's Specter or Old Tower and everything that is around around him or around the labels he is in or involved in. I hope my throat holds up. I was going to do Old Tower today. I'm still going to do Old Tower, but I'm going to pull it a little bit open in the sense that this will probably be the first of 2 videos. Because there's not much coming in these days. I have one big order from New Era, but some stuff all over the world that is all over the world. So the only thing I got in was the Kira, the new one, and then the Blinding Sun demo compilation, so that will show up later. We're in a different mood, so we are now listening to Noordvalken with Schitteringen. They played the show with Old Tower at the Oefenbunker not too long ago. This is the tape they released on, I have to see what label it is, I think Zwartkunst. Yes. There's the stamp. They have a few labels and they will all show up later, I guess, in the video. This is for Warden for Krachtenmagie, that will show up. Also, Gateway to the Black Abyss, the Skyggeraich. This one. Thanks for the support. So yeah, Zwartkunst, Smederij, Skyggeraich are the main labels, I think, or their labels. But yeah, in the next video we will do, because it's going to be the more ambient side of Specter and Dam's Revolt, was closely linked to everything they do. And I think the other one is going to be the more black metal side, which is maybe even more than I have for this, so we'll see where we get. Fair warning, this is extremely nerdy. We are going to start with the want list, actually, which I start with every time, and that is the things that I don't have or I'm looking for, and basically it's the very old material that was only on the labels are Crude Form is one, and then their label was called Shunt House, but I'm not even sure if Shunt House is them or that's too long ago. But basically I'm still looking for Keepers of the Ancient Flame, the tape on Shadow Kingdom, from the Dark Outlands, also Shadow Kingdom. Those are 2 tapes, and then The Door and the Book of Ages. Those are 4 tapes that are eluding me. There's more. There's the weird box that Zwartkunst did, so yeah. There's always more, but those are the 4 main tapes. They go up to Svartvit. Actually has 3 of them, I think, for 200 a pop, so I'll pass on that, but cheers to him for getting that. He gave me the magazines, which I will pull out later. Cheers to him, and cheers to Skyggeraich. Let's dive in. So yeah, like I said, Noordvalken with Schitteringen is playing. Old Tower is also playing in Belgium. I'm blanking on where or what, but it's a castle in I think about an hour drive from here. I was harping last time that they didn't do it in a setting that would suit them, or and this could be a good setting. It's a festival, so we'll see. Plus it's Roadburn, that period, but yeah, we'll see. So the want list is done. Then we go into merch, then we go into a bit of a preview with some other projects, not really Old Tower, and then we delve into the main course. So let's do merch. This won't show up, but I'll show it anyway. This is the pin that was on the Bandcamp, 3 spires or 3 towers here, 3 old towers. It's always on the altar, never on the jacket, because I would hate to lose it, actually. Plus yeah, it's just too cute to put on a jacket. But yeah, think I got that at Heralds of Unlight. First time, I think in 2018, 19, something like that. The second one is happening this year with Kira Fich, so they're playing, but in a different mode, I guess. And the other one is something German, Najarajam, something like that. I'm blanking already, but yeah, should be a good night. We booked and we reserved, so we're good. Then some shirts. I am aware that I showed a lot of Old Tower stuff in previous videos. There was the big Hospital Productions bundle that will show up again because, let's face it, beautiful records. But some things are old, or older. These are the shirts I got at the last show at Oefenbunker. This is the Mad Moon or whatever. I hope Leviathan doesn't sue, but that's the first one. Nothing on the back on this one. This was the other one, and I think this is a reprint of a shirt that was only available on Bandcamp or something like that. The Rise of the Specter. Nothing on the back. And then these are my oldies, and I bought this when this was the second time I saw them. First time was at Roadburn in 2018 maybe. I think their second set after New York. But this is the Stellary Wisdom long sleeve that came, I think, from Tourlegard. Let's read. I am all and I am nothing, a spectre from the ancient past. Love this ode to the Dungeon Synth double X. It's just a bit sharper, and it has it, on the sleeve also. Old Tower on the other. Very cool. The only thing is it's a medium, so it rarely gets worn, but I can't ever sell it. So yeah. And then there is this one. This is the Spectral Horizons. Not a long sleeve, but once again the double X. And some text. Beyond the gate lies eternal wisdom. Those who seek the knowledge will join the ghosts of the Shadow Kingdom. Yeah. Poetry, dark poetry. Old Tower basically started as a dungeon synth, dungeon synth project from the Spectre. They are from Holland, I think that would be apparent by now. And together with, I have to mention Demsehold, Jeroen, who is a mandatory part, or is an integral part to the entire Skyggeraich. Let's call it Skyggeraich. So there's black metal, there's ambient, there's dark ambient, there is dungeon synth, there's everything. There's a mix going on that is all encompassing. Let's see where to start. Let's start with some side projects. I'm going to do tape first, and then we'll see. The first thing I grabbed is Warden with, can't read that. Het Hinde Liv den Sterne, something like that. There we go. This is on Skyggeraich Productions. Yes, I'm blanking on years on these. I have no idea actually. There you go. A nice hard-shelled purple tape, and I think I saw a year 2019. There you go. It has a silver print. This is the better side. Warden is a project. I will talk about it a bit more. Definitely, this is the first, and the last will also be Warden. It is a project by, I'm pretty sure both of them, but Spectre seems to be the main guy here. Well, I'm pretty sure it's both of them. There you go. That is the project responsible for me getting into ambient, actually. It was the first time that it actually took me, or that I noticed, like, oh yeah, I kind of like this, because the first records I bought from Old Tower, who were pure dungeon synth at the time, I was honest then, and I will be honest now, it did not really grab me. I bought that first, this one, I bought that, I think, from New Era, or maybe Tourlegard, but it's been too long, so I have no idea. But yeah, Warden is a bit more ambient, the full length, I guess. Yeah, it's just dark ambient, and it's almost completely cut loose from dungeon synth, but there's always, you know, the black metal also has dungeons in it, so it's always there. But yeah, that is the first one. That was an unreadable title, almost dropped it. This is another one, the Wonde Skertve, something like that. This is the split between, and here black metal shows up, Blood Tyrant and Warden. Blood Tyrant was the main, or the flagship band for a long time, that had records on Iron Bonehead and stuff like that. Spectre and Dempsey Revolt, both on this one. The optics are always very much on point. Yeah, love that logo, the tree drops with the swords. By now classic, actually. Yeah, great splits, great splits. And this is on Shadow Kingdom. But yeah, there we go. This was available, I guess this is still in distros, because I see it here and there. Then I have two by another project, and this is the Wampyric Specter with Macabre Full Moon Effigy, and then the Dempsey Revolt split. There you go. The first one is We Inflict Misery and Cancer Upon Tom van Utrecht. There you go. Doxed myself. I learned a new word. This is on Zwartkunst Smederij. There you go. I'm a sucker for those personalized tapes, of course. Stamp. Very nice. Yeah, Wampyric Specter, once again, very dark ambient. That is Spectre himself. Dempsey Revolt is also a project where I think Jeroen is mostly the chief in command, but that is also a project that is on the cusp of, is it ambient? Sometimes it's pure ambient, sometimes it's not really Dungeon Sin, but black metal. Dempsey Revolt in my head is more black metal. Then Wampyric Specter with Dark Abyss Production, or from Dark Abyss Productions, great tape. It's the one that Go to Warwick's also uses. Yeah, this is a full length, I don't know, the Wampyric Specter. There you go. This is maybe the project I am least familiar with from of the entire thing, and I need to rectify that a bit because I have two tapes and a beautiful record, but yeah. Then the last thing, and I got this from Spectre, the distro, that Skyggeraich distro, or the, yeah, I think Skyggeraich, Wallachian Cobwebs. He had this in the distro together with, I think, a bunch of fur that I got. This is the new stamp. But this is True Dungeons Deep Records, and this is a this is basically more a Dungeon Sin project as far as I heard, but Spectre lends his talents to this. Here lies Count Rangula. Special thanks to Spectre for his vocal performance on A Lonely Walk. So, nice little tape, backed by the man, or the Spectre himself. Is it a man? Is it a Spectre? That were the tapes. I'll do one more to round it off, and this is actually a bit of an overlooked record in their catalog. This is from 2021, and this is the Orodruin, another Dempsey Revolt project or band that is once again on the cusp of, is it Damien? It's always the same. And Ungoliant. This is basically these two projects, each their own, who do a split that is very inspired or even dedicated to the entire magical world of Tolkien. I say overlooked because I don't think this is still readily available, but I even haven't talked about it that much. It was basically a side note at the time, like, oh, another one. But listening to it back this week in preparation of it for this was one of them that came out of me like, oh yeah, okay, I have to check that out, because it's a very good, very nice looking 7-inch, but it is also very good. It is especially the Ungoliant side is the perfect summation of the black metal, the Dungeon Synth, and the ambient all together in one. Orodruin, very good track. I need to pick up the split with Warden. I think it's Warden. It becomes too much. Let's focus on what we have. both have that Skyggeraich vocals. Those vocals, the croaking Dutch, maybe they sing in English, it's very not understandable. The difference is Specter goes along with the music more, it flows a bit more, his vocals, and Orodrun or Damsevold has a more cut-off vocal style, maybe from his past with Needhawk, Iljarn, those kind of things, because Damsevold basically comes out of that world into this. This is the, I think, a more limited edition. I'm not sure if there was a black. It shows up very nice. You know, the sunburst in red. But yeah, if you can get your hands on it, just listen to it. I mean, it's a 7-inch. You don't really need it, but you kind of need it. Necro, Middle Earth, Metal. There you go. Their pictures are always, I mean, it's one of the best looking artwork all of the time. So yeah, we are going to blow smoke up their ass a bit more in part 2, 3, 4, and maybe even more than that. But this is the first recommendation. The others are okay. If you like Dark Ambient, definitely check Warden, but it will be a bitch to get those records. This is a bit more available, maybe. That was part 1. I was going to play the split we just talked about, but it's a split 7-inch, so it will be done before I can sit down. What we're going to do is start listening in the back of Old Tower, and we're starting to look at records that came out first. So we are now listening to Triton Reef Spires. This is the extra tape that came. It will be loud soon, I guess. The extra tape that came through Hospital Productions when they did the Old King of Witches deluge of records. This was basically the extra thrown in. This is, I'm not sure how many tracks. I'm not going to look it up. It's not really important, but yeah, it's on Hospital. It says, diamond flickers on azure surface, limestone burning in heat. These waves of thought flow in dreams of ancient gods, lost in aquatic meditation. Triton Reef spires from below. Long story short, this is the preview to what one of the tentacles of Old Tower could become. This is a more aquatic, is blue, themed, a bit Poseidon, Greek, Roman gods. There is, yeah, there's some fantasy in here, I guess. But yeah, I'm blanking on the Cthulhu guy. Yeah, I have a tape there. I can't see it. You know who I'm talking about. The biggest fantasy writer besides Tolkien. So yeah, there's a bit of everything in here. I haven't listened to it that much, to be honest. I've listened to it then when it came out, so let's discover it. That is the latest release by Old Tower. Then let's do them in order. I was going to show the tapes, but let's go. Lubricates. Cheers. We are drinking Saison d'Autigny from the Ranke, a brewery I wish would be present tomorrow at the beer festival we're going to, but alas, we have to do it with the others, which is also very good. I already got this one, or had this one. Dochter van de Korenaar. A lot of expectations. Enough rambling, let's go. So yeah, like I said, I'm missing the first chapter of Old Tower. I started listening, I looked it up, and I guess around 2017 when Tordegaard and the Shadow Kingdom put out Rise of the Specter. I was following Old Tower, I was following Tordegaard because of it's a great label, and I don't know, just because it's a great label. What was there at the time? It was Le Fleur du Mal and Tordegaard that pulled me into Canada. So what would it have been? I'm not sure. I got in contact with Specter, I think, through the Shadow Kingdom then, not website, but there was an email address you had to mail, and they send you the records. I bought it on a whim because I actually didn't know what Dungeon Synth was at the time. I had an image, but that image was more, to put it in Tolkien words, more Gandalf than Saruman. And when I heard Old Tower, it was basically more Saruman than Gandalf. I told you it was going to get dirty. But it didn't grab me at all. It was still too, not poppy, but just too synthy. I was listening to black metal only, and the other side of my brain. But yeah, around that time it didn't grab me. But I kept persevering, and I just got the records mainly because they looked incredible, and the sound, as you will notice going through these records, kind of evolved with me or with my taste. So it's symbiotic. Let's start at the beginning. I know these are not in order of coming out, but I did them in order of when they came out originally. That means on tape, on CD, on digital platforms, whatever. This is then the first one, and this is Spectral Horizons. And now I have to see, it is from 2016. This came out on Shunt House. The first time it was shown, and I'll show you the tape. It's this one of the classic images. Yes, this is a children's iPad or whatever you want to call it. It's the best I can do. So it came out on Shunt House. That and Crude, I'm blanking on the other one, another Dutch tape label that also did Orgy of Carrion and Bastard of Majesty's Sin. And it's there where my interest peaked, because I was heavily into Orgy of Carrion at that time. It was the height of raw black metal for me, but when it was still, when Lampier was booming and whatever. So yeah, here we go. Rise of the Spectre? No, Spectral Horizons. That is the first one. This then was put out to, Shunt House, like I said, in 2016. Then Tour de Garde picked it up in 2016. And in 2017, the LP was released. So this is not the first I got my hands on, but I guess the second or third. So yeah, here we go. Spectral Horizons, A Fortress of Sorrow. Sorceries mastered by Comrade Baron Ir Malachi. These majestic spells are dedicated to the eternal dark war. Death to the opposing weaklings that stand against our kingdom. So yeah, always, the artwork is always done by him. It is always or a photo collage, or sometimes he has these images, or he had these images on Instagram that were just otherworldly. They show up on Blood Tyrant tapes here and there around the time I think the second to last Blood Tyrant came out. Beautiful stuff. All created, I guess, for the backgrounds or the backdrops, digital backdrops that they have live, which are also very nice. I think the first time I saw them at Roadburn, I don't think there was a video, maybe Snow in the back, but they had Spectre on the right and Damsel on the left, like always, and then they had a sword in the middle and just one light shone upon it, but I guess I told that already. Spectral Horizons. This is, in my opinion, the second, this is basically the first full length. I think it's hard to say what a full length is with them, but I always consider the first four, the door, the whatever I just said, as the demo material or the demos, and then this is the first full length. All dungeons, and so you have the demo period that will show up on vinyl, and then you have the full length period. But I think up until the last Eidolon on Profound Lore, it's basically him looking for his sound within what is Dungeon Synth. There you go. This is from the shirt. This is the black vinyl version. I am not sure. I don't think. No, there's just a black one. The double X. So you know it's classic DS. I wonder how much time I'm going to say Dungeon Synth again. Let's make it a drinking game. But yeah, Spectral Horizons. That was the first full length, in my humble opinion. Then I've put them in order a bit. Actually, this should have come first, but I don't know why. Maybe a better opener. Or to bury the lead. This is the Old Tower Remembrance of the Lone Enclave. And this one came out 2016 on Crude Form. That's the label I was talking about, and this is basically a tape box that came out. I'll show the cover once again because it's one of those VHS clamshells. This is one of the grails if you are collecting, but it goes for 17, 140, that range, so crazy. Crude Form, out of season from the US, also did it in 2017, 2018, a repress. Then, yeah, it got picked up by Skull. Always in these videos he shows up. Danny will also show up, of course, but yeah, Skull picked this up for number 14, and this is basically the demo compilation, if you will. I'm not sure if it's 100% the same track listing on tape, but it's Book of Ages. It's on here. Book of Ages, Keepers of the Ancient Flame, and The Door, and the last is from the Dark Outlands. So this is a double album on Skull that has all the tapes that I'm missing, basically, that will flip, I guess. So yeah, neatly stacked onto a beautiful records. Skull, by now legendary. If you don't think so, you can back up and leave this channel. I was going to say nothing on the inside, but it has something on the inside. This is actually a very nice record. They all are, but no, there you go. Let's see, Hails to Skull and by We Am Baron. So yeah, there we go. Older material. This is a card. What's this? Shadow Kingdom proudly presents Spectral Horizons, Remoral Lone Enclave, and then Val with their first one. Very good show on the back. We'll show that too because we're showing Black Witch Repossession and Naya Togablitz. They did a record of this one. That's probably why it's still in here. Vinyl wise, nothing too great, but still worth showing because these center labels are actually worked out. I don't know what is on here. Maybe digitally it shows up. No. I think it's the artwork that was on tapes. What else? Side C, and I'll show it all because it's nerd time. We have to make the hour on this one. But yeah, this was at the time I was getting to. I already knew Lasse by then, but yeah, not going to go into that relationship. But still very thankful to know him around this time because he gave me a lot of information on a lot of things, not just, you know, we traded. I gave him all of my Tata stuff. He gave me records. So yeah, let's remember him in the Lone Enclave. Cheers. Then the big banger. I think this one got a re-release. Is it true? Or am I blowing smoke? Let's see. We have time, I guess. This is the Rise of the Specter Part 1 and 2. And this is from 2017, Tourdegaard Shadow Kingdom. This is the one. It came out on a few versions. There is a, album-wise, there is a magenta one or a purple one. And then there is the black one. I don't have the purple one because at the time I contacted Spectre and it seemed they only had black, which is weird because black was the more limited color. Maybe they were the first. Is there a limitation put on here? Undisclosed. So yeah, I have no idea. This was repressed by Tourdegaard. And there was also a, the gold edition was also a nuclear, no, not a nuclear, a New Era exclusive. So yeah, there are silver, black, warlock, purple, and then there's gold for New Era. We have a killer blasphemy edition if you are looking into, or if you want, you know, the blasphemy. Pick it up. Here you go. This is the pasted on. I don't know if the repress is pasted on. I'm pretty sure it is not. Well, I'm just now discovering something. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it is not. Well, I thought it was printed in. Never mind. Equally cool. But yeah, this has the pasted on, printed on, which was at the time being done more. I don't think, I think the Portuguese did something at this time, but yeah. An alliance between Trudegarth and Shadow Kingdom Part 1 and 2. I thought it was printed on the inside, but it is just a sheet of text. I think this is also in the re-releases. This is Spectre himself, engulfed in flames. All sorcery conducted in total solitude at the Lone Enclave by the Spectre. There you go. That should be in the other one, but I don't know if I ever saw that piece of paper. Then there is the just white label. Sadly, not a stamp, not a Trudegarth, not a Shadow Kingdom, but yeah. This was the first thing I got in from from Old Tower, and the running gag at the time was when Thomas Adams was here. He said, "Let's play the Dungeons and Record again," just to, not to laugh with it, but just to, it was weird at the time in my ears. It just sounded weird, but yeah. This is. There will be more prized possessions, but this is the one that that is very near and dear to my heart. As the time progressed, we got more releases by him because they are very prolific. That's why I have to cut it in two. If I had to do the black metal side too, it would have been a 4-hour video, which could still be, but yeah. They got Stellary Wisdom out in 2018, so almost all consecutive years. And this is an EP of full length, I'm not sure. Came out in 2018. There are 5 versions. There's a purple one, a black one. Then there's the CD. There's a test pressing, which is beautiful. Once again, I'll show you. We have the ways to do so. This is an image that doesn't show up anywhere else, but yeah, it's never been for sale, which is a good thing. I have that purple transparent. Very cool picture. Once again, the shield. That was on the long sleeve also. Deep within my somber castle halls, Stellary Wisdom, pure underground, plagued by a tour de garde. There you go. Lyric sheets, or more poetry, I guess, in a very sick picture by Spectre. Like I said, their visuals are always on point, always nicely made records. This is the Warlock Purple, they called it at the time. I'm not sure if that is still the case, but yeah. There you go. The legs. Very nicely purple. I wouldn't mind having it in black, actually, because all my old colors. There are a few artists I don't mind black, but we'll get into color a bit later in this video. But yeah, there you go. Second full length. Third, I don't know. Then let's do the twisting points and then dive into the last part. This is the last Eidolon, by Old Tower, and this kind of did not came out of nothing, but it was weird because 2019 there was nothing, and then 2020 it came out on Profound Lore, which was a big step. I imagine they met each other at Roadburn or something like that, because I think the guy was there at the time. But yeah, there are 14 versions, of course. There's a CD. There are a bunch of editions. There's a gold edition, red transparent, and then red transparent, golden splatter. I just got black because I thought that was, I guess that was what was around. Because this was at the time 2020 that Brexit was there, I guess, and the taxes just went through the roof to import again. The gift thing was over. I'm still trying. I have a tape from Oscar coming in, but I have to pay like 22 euros or something like that. So this was at the time that I wasn't ordering from the US. They had the Eurostore, but it was actually an expensive record at the time, and I knew they pressed a lot, so I knew just wait it out. And I think I got it from Babylon Doom Cult for like 20, which was severely under the price, because I think new it was 30 to 40 euros, which at that time was an expensive record. Now is just the price, but yeah, SWAT. Gold foil stamped all over the place, beautiful but different artwork. I think the borders and everything gold kind of lines up with the artwork, but if you look at what came before and then look at this picture, this could be by a different artist. I'm pretty sure I heard him say at the Noise Extra podcast, which I'll link. I'll remember it because I remembered the last time. Where was I? Yeah, that he did everything himself, but this could be a different one. What this is the biggest full length, I guess, that came out to date by him. Lore Master, Shadow over Only Kingdom, and The Fallen One. So 3 long tracks. Yeah, back. There is the gatefolds or the insert. It is Spectre crawling in the woods. Through the woods, I should say. And like I said, this is just the black vinyl edition, which I like very much. The D side has an etching, and it is, I think it's a pawn, like a queen to bishop, but then that explodes, which is quite nice and gives an extra to this record. So 3 tracks spread over 2 sides of vinyl. But yeah, is there an insert here? No. Record wise, it's maybe their sturdiest one. It is Profund Lore, so they have good shit. But yeah, this is the booklet that came with it. A bit more Spectre-ish in style. But yeah, very nice. Layout and stuff. Let's see if there is more. There's one more picture with baby Spectre, small Spectre, and then there's just more artwork and show that. And I think that's maybe the first time the moon shows up. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Oh, check this out again tonight when we're done with this. So yeah, that rounds up, I think, the demos, first full lengths, and then the breaking point or the tipping point for what Old Tower would become. So that is next. Okay, so on to the modern times. We are listening to the Wampyric Specter with Macabre Full Moon Effigy that I just showed. One of the project that's eluding me. There's more from him to discover, but you know, that's that. Then into the second part. The first things that came out in after the last Eidolon. I'm always saying it wrong. The last Eidolon. Angry Spectre. Were the Old Tower 7 inches on Hospital, and that kicked off their relation with Dominic and the entire label. I'm not sure where they met. They had the Departure Chandelier, which I talked about last. I verified it, and it is the Blood Tyrant split, so they knew each other from that. I guess Dominic invited them to play New York in 2018, so there was a connection. But then these started popping up. And this is the trilogy, the Drachenblut, the Finsterstromung, I guess, and Seelennacht. Pretty sure that's not good, but these were the Grim Alchemy trilogy. I always knew they would show up on a 12-inch, but the collector in me, it's not really his most Dungeon Sense project, but we'll work with it. The collector in me knew that I would hate it if I passed these up, so these are the 3 first 7 inches. This is the first one. All portraits of Spectre on the cover. Very nice little releases, and they always came in these weird little colors. I'm not sure how many, I don't know if that matters, but these came out 2018, 2019, and 2020. Yeah. Black or bluish, I guess, in red. This was at the time that he started this tour with Morty's, a German and 2 Dutch, or 2 German and 1 Dutch. Yeah, Club from Hell, Club MS Connexion Complex in Mannheim, and then Tivoli Vredesburg in Utrecht. There you go. He is a big fan of Morty's, as you can imagine. I'll put them back later. This is the second one, the Finsterströmung. Jesus. Not my language. Second on the back. These are not numbered or anything, they just are called. This is one of the more ethereal, if you will, that I was talking about. Ethereal artworks that looks like video projections. Don't know if that still works, but be my guest. And this was on a purple and black. There you go. Show everything, yes. And then the last one was the Stille Nachtse. Yeah, something like that. 2020. Another Spectre. Portraits. And then this one is very cool. I think this is a blue one too, if I remember correct. Yes, clear and blue. Very thin, wafery. No, that's okay. I was going to say thin, wafery 7 inches, but it's okay. Here's another download code. Grab it. Just a 7-inch, but you know, if you like it. They came after the last Eidolon, and they hinted into a different direction. If you look at their Discog space right now, it says Dark Ambient with a past in, something like that. Dark Ambient and formerly Dungeon Synth Act from the Netherlands. So I think around the time that came out, the Grim Alchemy came out, he started to become a bit bored with Dungeon Synth music, or him making Dungeon Synth music, and started to embrace where he was getting his sound from, I guess. Not the Dungeon Synth, but the Ambient, and that is Cold Meat industry, that is the electronic side of things. That entire space, Boy or something like it, is one of the bands. Yeah, a lot of stuff, and especially Mortis for the more dungeon. But yeah, around this time he started to change, I think. It is still a bit Dungeon Synth-esque, but the ambient is creeping in. This is one of the releases on Hospital that came in the big bundle that I have to thank my cousin in New York for. And Rose, thank you very much. Rest in peace to your mother. But yeah, she decided to, or at my request, bought them for me and shipped them to me at a very doable cost. So thank you very much for supporting the show that way. This is basically the 12-inch that I always expected. It has the 3 EPs, and then it has extra tracks, of course, exclusive bonus tracks on Waldgeistig, I think. Gallows on the Shore, Pines and Mist, and Waldgeistig. So yeah, dark music that will show up on these records. This is a more papery sleeve, not glossy or anything. It comes with a sick poster of the 3 portraits that were used on the 7 inches. There you go. It is Hospital production, so you know it's always on point. What I did was I opted for the long sold out, probably Hospital. I opted for the entire package and the picture disc. So this came with it, the Crazy Moon, and then the picture disc for this one is this one. It was just the nicest package. You had the most artwork. They're all gorgeous, the vinyls. Does it play? Yeah, it plays. It's not the picture discs. It's not your dad's picture disc anymore. So yeah, very cool to have this and the extra 7-inch basically tacked onto this. There are tracks on here. Maybe he had a record that was stolen because they stole his hard drive, and one of the tracks maybe on here or one of the New Day comments or something like it. So yeah, stolen records that never will come out. But yeah, those tracks are in here somewhere. Then onto the thing that I think kicked off. This is basically the demo for Old King of Witches, in a weird way. Okay. I'm talking Plague Harvest. There you go. This is my first real favorite Old Tower thing that he did, because it stepped away from the dungeon synths completely, and then that allows me the opportunity to say I like Old Tower because it's not dungeon synth anymore, or not just dungeon synth. Beautiful cover, and the back, also on Hospital. Yalla. Else is in here. This is basically a package on itself. This is the Plague Harvest picture disc, and the Support the Underground. I'm looking at how the skull is. I don't see it, but yeah. Oh, there it is. The skull. Support the Underground, which I like very much. Very nice release indeed. They always have sick shit. Hospital. This is the dark music, but the Ruination, the New Dawn Comet, part 1 and 2, and I'm pretty sure this is one of the tracks, or one of the tracks is on here that that was from the stolen records. So this came out on a latte cut or something like it, so it was always too expensive. Old Tower stamp on the poster, and this is a very nice Plague Harvest piece. But it's actually, I think it's an older picture. Yeah. The marriage between them it's nice that they are on Hospital now, but it was a bitch to get this bundle. So yeah, I hope they do some of their own stuff pretty soon again. But yeah, this is, like I said, one of my favorite releases. I have it on multiple versions. This is the tape, also on Hospital. This came from Specter itself, and this was right after Corona. This was lost for a while, and my wife found it in a mailbox. I told the story before. In a different street, and she was walking with, I think, Sid, who was 2 months or something like it. And she saw my name in the mailbox on the other side of the street, and it was this tape that was in there, so she pulled it out. Otherwise it would have been lost forever. But yeah. The mill creaked and turned, grinding the yellow grains, but the grains started growing into disease and despair. They reaped what they sowed. The mill kept on herning, I guess. The yellow grains now became foul. Like I said, very nice release, and yeah, one of my favorites by Old Tower. And through Gems, I think. His dog was sick, long story short, was selling records. He put this up for auction, nobody bid on it. I just snagged it for 40. I think I gave him 50 maybe. This was one of my modern grails, just to have one of the Hospital limiteds, and then to have Plague Harvest, basically my favorite record by Old Tower up until then. Never going to open it. The tape is in here, screwed to the block, so it's going to remain screwed. Going to cut one more time, and then we'll be back. Yep, last piece of the puzzle. We are listening to Plague Harvest. We are now, year-wise, we are into 2021 with all the releases. Don't think there was anything after that. No. So the last thing was the full length for now. We're working our way up to it, but we're there. So yeah. Plague Harvest kind of introduced a new sound in the sense that more ambient came in, very dark ambient, very field recordings, samples integrated, still heavy synth music, but more, yeah, atmosphere creating than just basically Dungeons and the atmosphere that a Dark Ambient creates more than plain Dungeons. And this is the Old King of Witches, and this is by far my favorite release. It is a fully worked out, fully fleshed out, full length that he has been working up to. There are full lengths in the Dungeons and region, but this is the, I think, his summum for now. What he is going to do after this, I have no idea. But if the black metal is any indication with the Ungoliant, the fur, the blood iron is even back, so there's an unstoppable force there. But yeah, Old King of Witches. Full length from 2021, which was basically my record of the year, I think, at the time. I remember I made it easy on myself by picking Stormkeep and Worm. I rectified that situation, but yeah. This was very much up there together with Lugubrum at the time. Nona Liman, I guess, did all the artwork for this one. This was the first time he did the direction. He made some props here and there, but the photographer actually decided what the look of the record would be, which is maybe the first, because even the Plague Harvest, the drawing is by his hands. Yeah, it is the figure on the cover and is actually the most decrepit one of all the pictures. The other one are a bit more majestic, but very dark, very purple, very knights in the Skyggeraich. Yeah, embossed logo, embossed title, very nice production. And this is the, I don't know what this is. This is the full summation of the sounds for now. Yeah. A complete goodbye to the dungeons in the past and into the future. It comes with this huge poster. This is one of the more basic black and white ones, but if you see them all, they should come out somewhere, because I know there's one in her book, but it's kind of hard to find these pictures now. I don't know why. They're probably on the internet, but yeah. More artwork, more pictures, interior pictures. I'm talking about the exterior pictures. There you go. A very nice color scheme with the purple and the golden. There's the promo card for it, together with the Departure Chandelier, the Dripping Papal Blood, which came out in 2021. The flyer, the thing just came out. And then the Old King of Witches book, which has a vellum cover, lyrics, other pictures in here. This is my favorite one, 100%. That's what I meant by exterior. Booklet is beautiful. It's all vellum and spot gloss printed. Yeah, it has just one picture. It's created by the Spectre in the Lone Enclave in Total Solitude. Nona Liman, L-I-M-M-E-N. Very nice. This also comes with a booklet, Beaten Pace of the Oak Tree, Old Tower Zine of Hospital Productions, October 21. Promo cards. 2 promo cards, wow. Rich. Came with a zine, and I'll show 2 more zines after this to maybe hit the hour. Spectre Backstage, I think in New York. Should have been New York, but yeah. Very, yeah, a magazine. It's not a zine, it's just color printed. It has everything you want. Pictures, covers of older material. This is the flyer. DJ Becca Diamond, nice. Yeah, Brooklyn, Old Tower, and I don't know what the other thing is. St. Elsewhere, but I don't know what the other band is. It should be written down here, but probably is. Something more. Yeah. There we go. Backstage at that show. I see familiar faces, but this is in 1997. Crazy. Akitsa. I said Akitsa, Old Tower, and the Autumn Heart first live appearance. Jesus. Good times. Seems so long ago, it's 2017. Yeah. Last page, I'm drowning in this scene. I'm going to put this apart. I'm going to put this away to read later. The two things I wanted to show before I round off with two beautiful records, one that I have to get into and that is a tip, and one that is my absolute favorite one. I got this from Zwartwit, the one that is holding the Old Tower tapes hostage, but I'll get them somehow. This is Dungeon Grease number 2, and I also have number 4. The zine done by Specter, I'm pretty fucking sure. It has Forbidden Citadel of Spirits. That's why I dug it out in the first place, because it's, you know, almost carved cross season, but yeah, very cool. Swallowing Bile is in here. Then there is a article on Shunt House, which is basically their label at the time. What else is in this one? Chalice of Grime. I don't know what this is. Bolus. Yeah. I don't know what Bolus is. This is the back. It is. This is okay. This was is a bit more fragile. This is number Dungeon Grease 4 with Akitsa down and out. Great. Forgotten Kingdoms, Temple of Adoration, Necromantic Worship, for crying out loud. I have no idea when these were printed. There is no year on here. No. Yeah. 2000 and let's see, what's the first? 2014, 15, maybe a bit later. There's Down and Out with my buddy. There you go. What's up, man? Forgotten Kingdoms. Awesome stuff. Yeah, Necromantic Worship. Showed a lot. Temple of Adoration. La Kitsa. Gorgeous. Look at that. Majestic Canadian shit. There you go. Kevin, thank you very much. The last two. Cheers. My brother in Thunderdome. Last two, and this is going to be the discovery for me. This is one that Danny gave me a long time ago when I first started ordering there. I think the second order I ever got from Danny, I forgot to thank him or ask him about it, is I bought a bunch of records. I think it was the Obscure Tatum time, and he gifted me the Bosom Aske flag, but like huge. It's hanging. It has been hanging up for years and years. But this was also in here. Wampyric Specter, or Vampiric Specter, with a dark quest in the name of death. Yeah, on God of Warrings. So, two gifts to end this with. I don't know if I paid for this or it's a gift, but in my head it was always a gift. So yeah, there we go. It was later in the in time that I realized this was also a Spectre. Because it's a little bit different when you see the tapes and you know what the labels are. It becomes obvious, but it's a little bit different in tone here. This is more the almost black metal look for the same guy, but it's still, yeah, it's actually, there's more black metal on here, which makes sense. Very good pressing, just black. I'm not sure what the limitation is, because I saw one pop up in an Instagram post of someone I follow that had this one thrown in there or bought. So I don't know if they didn't sell well or that he just gives them, because it is a bit of a private release, or it was. I don't know. Yeah. Still mine to discover, I guess. Vampiric Specter. And then to round it all off and maybe finish together with the Plague Harvest, which was the best summation of the entire Corona plague, in my opinion. This is maybe one of my most prized, especially in this realm of Dutch black metal possessions, because this one was given to me by Damsevold, I think at the show on Roadburn, or yeah, I'm pretty sure. And this is the Warden with Kochtenmagie on Skyggeraich. This was the first introduction of the Shadow Kingdom, was over, I guess, or closed for the time being. And Skyggeraich Productions came up. You have Dark Ambient also from Dam's Revolt, which I'll talk in the second part. But Skyggeraich was the new start. Old Tower was actually blooming because they started to play shows that I would have liked to see, which was the New York show, the Copenhagen show, the Tilburg show I saw. But this was at the Roadburn Tilburg show in the new venue, the Koepelhal, some smaller room there, and this is the gig that had the sword in the middle. What this is the Kochtemagie test press. I don't own test presses because it's usually $70, under $70 for a plain white sleeve with just the same record. But this is actually one, he gave it to me, and two, it's gorgeous. So yeah, this is basically what the record looks like. So it's a fold over obi strip-esque red sleeve. There you go. It's just black, nothing else. Beautiful cover. The mountain that opens up. Very cool release. Then this is the Gateways to the Black Arts. This was basically the record that's, that I said, okay, I get it now. This is, okay, I know what Dark Ambient is, or I see what I am starting to hear in Ambient. So, yeah. Comes with a zine or a lyric booklet, art book. That is it. That is part one of the Old Tower Shadow Kingdom Dam's Revolt Skyggeraich video. I had to check the discography if I hadn't done it because, they are two people together with maybe Forbidden Temple or Moon of Excessbed, those folks that made me realize there was a lot of good music being made in the Netherlands. I basically live in the same region as them. But in Belgium and Holland in general. Excellent music in the past few years, I think maybe 5 years, 6 years by now, maybe longer. But yeah, respect to them, and once more, cheers. That was the somewhat extensive Old Tower collection. Next up, let's say it's the Tirgul collection. Blood Tyrant, the Fish, I don't know. We'll see where we end up. Plague Harvest is almost done. I'm done for today. Over an hour, so that should be good for the first one. And I'll see you in part 2 or the Blinding Sun Kira updates. Thanks for checking in, and I'll see you soon. Peace.